Hallelujah. All right, we're going to look at the Eliyahu message. Father, give us understanding of thy word and turn our hearts back to you, to serve you and you alone, in the name of Yeshua, and to love our neighbor as ourselves, doing unto others as we would have them do unto us. Amen. So, we're going to look here a little bit in 1 Kings 18. I recommend reading the whole chapter. I just read it and did this whole study here, and it's just exciting. It's exciting. Just some highlights. It's been 3.5 years, 42 months, 1,260 days that it hasn't rained during the days of the prophesying of Eliyahu. And after that 3.5 days, Eliyahu is sent with a message to King Ahab. And there's a showdown between the prophets of Baal and the other prophets of the groves, which end up being 850 prophets altogether. And there's a showdown on Mount Carmel. And we're going to read about that showdown, and you're going to see that Satan ends up counterfeiting this to the T. Instead of a 3.5-year ministry of Elijah prophesying, the beast is prophesying. And there is a plague of no rain during this whole time. Because of the reign of the beast keeps people from keeping the Feast of Tabernacles through the false teaching that we're supposed to keep Christmas and Easter. And almost all of Christendom worships the beast and wonders after the beast who changes the feast. And of course, Zechariah 14, 16 through 19, we know there's a plague of no rain that all the nations are smitten with if they don't keep the Feast of Tabernacles. And so this means during the reign of the beast, there's a plague of no rain. So it's amazing the parallels. And then the beast, after this plague of no rain, in his ministry of 3.5 years, he's also counterfeiting Christ, because in Revelation 13 he receives a deadly wound and is healed after 3.5 years. And all the world wonders after him. And so there's just so many parallels. But we're looking at Elijah here now, and we're going to see that the adversary is confounded here when fire comes down out of heaven and consumes the sacrifice that Eliyahu makes, or Elijah. And Satan has been waiting for years for this comeback to that. And he's got an image to the second beast of Revelation 13, which makes an image to the beast. That second beast says he causes fire to come down out of heaven after the 3.5-year reign of the beast, and makes an image to the beast so that everybody's going to worship that. And so it's like Satan's counterfeit Elijah message and counterfeit Christ. And so here we go. So Ahab sent unto all the children of Israel and gathered the prophets together unto Mount Carmel. And Eliyahu came unto all the people and said, How long halt ye between two opinions? If Yahuwah be Elohim, follow him. But if Baal, then follow him. And the people answered him not a word. An interesting number code here, if you see it, choose to see it that way. 1 Kings 18. Okay. 18 can be divided by 6 3 times. Verse 21 can be divided by 7 3 times. So 6 plus 6 plus 6, or 7 plus 7 plus 7. Those are your two choices, Babylon or Jerusalem. And the New Jerusalem is associated with the 777 number code. And we can find that in the scriptures right there. It's in plain sight for everybody to see. I believe it's chapter 21, when it's talking about the Lamb's wife. And Revelation 18 is all about the number 6. You can see layers of 16 in Revelation chapter 18. So really we're just, there's two opinions, Babylon or the New Jerusalem. And we can't have our feet in both worlds, or Yeshua is going to spew us out of his mouth. Okay, so it goes on and says, Then said Eliyahu, unto the people, I, even I only, remain a prophet of Yahuwah, but Baal's prophets are 450 men. Let them therefore give us 2 bullocks, and let them choose 1 bullock for themselves, and cut it in pieces, and lay it on wood, and put no fire under it. And I will dress the other bullock, and lay it on wood, and put no fire under. And call ye on the name of your gods, and I will call on the name of Yahuwah, and the God that answereth by fire, let him be Elohim. And all the people answered and said, It is well spoken. And Eliyahu said unto the prophets of Baal, Choose you 1 bullock for yourselves, and dress it first, for ye are many, and call on the name of your gods, but put no fire under. And so they go through this whole ordeal, and they leap up and down and just cry out from him from morning till noon. And Elijah starts to kind of make fun of them a little bit. He mocks them, and he said, maybe he's sleeping, or he needs to be woken up, etc. And it's just terrible. They cut themselves. Blood is gushing out. And nothing happens. It's just silence. Their God didn't answer at all. And I figure there must be good angels that were restraining Satan. Because in Revelation, he's got his comeback. He causes fire to come down. But now let's see what happens when Eliyahu prays. And what he does. You're going to notice that he repairs the altar that was broken down. And he takes 12 stones according to the number of the tribes of Jacob. Similarly, you've got in Revelation 7, you've got the sealing of the 144,000 from the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. And then it says he made an altar in the name of Yahuwah. I wonder if he spelled Yod He Vav He with the stones. I don't know. But in any case, he builds this altar. So in verse 32, and with the stones he built an altar in the name of Yahuwah, and he made a trench about the altar, as great as would contain 2 measures of seed. And he put the wood in order, and cut the bullock in pieces, and laid him on the wood, and said, Fill 4 barrels with water, and pour it on the burnt sacrifice, and on the wood. And he said, Do it the 2nd time. And they did it the 2nd time. And he said, Do it the 3rd time. And they did it the 3rd time. And the water ran round about the altar, and he filled the trench also with water. The thing is soaking wet. How is it going to burn? Okay, verse 36, and it came to pass at the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice that Eliyahu the prophet came near and said, Yahuwah, Elohim of Abraham, Yitzchak, and of Yisrael, let it be known this day that thou art Elohim in Yisrael, and that I am thy servant, and that I have done all these things at thy word. Hear me, O Yahuwah, hear me, that this people may know that thou art Yahuwah Elohim, and that thou hast turned their heart back again. Then fire of Yahuwah fell and consumed the burnt sacrifice and the wood and the stones and the dust, and licked up the water that was in the trench. And when all the people saw it, they fell on their faces, and they said, Yahuwah, he is Elohim. Yahuwah, he is Elohim. And Eliyahu said unto them, Take the prophets of Baal, let not one of them escape. And they took them, and Eliyahu brought them down to the brook Kishon, and slew them there. Next thing you know, Eliyahu prays 7 times. On the 7th time it rains. We're going to go to Revelation, though, to see these parallels. Okay, so the image of the beast and the 2nd beast. So, context. 3.5 years just passed. Okay? Again, verse 5 here about the beast. There was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 40 and 2 months. There's his ministry of 3.5 years. Then this beast comes up out of the earth. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon, and he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. So I'm going to pick it up here in part 2 of the Elijah message. You can see the parallels are amazing, so come back for part 2, please. All right, blessings.